All right. Instead of doing an intro this week, Jake told us he actually wants to sing a song for you guys to celebrate the end of the year. So, Jake, go ahead, take it away.
Oh,
Come on, Jake, don't be shy.
oh, Kazu's a bitch. Oh, Kazu's a bitch. And he
I
almost
thought
had
you
a
were
heart
going for,
attack
like,
right before our show started, and as you guys probably haven't
Yeah.
heard. He almost died.
Yeah, I'm breathing extremely hard. I don't know why, what's going on. Maybe I'm just a fat fuck right now, but
Oh, he
breathing
definitely
extremely
is.
hard. Sorry if I'm breathing through like the whole episode, like into the mic. I don't think it should be a problem, but yeah, it's pretty funny. I don't know. I thought I was gonna die a fucking heart attack or something, but
And we would
yeah,
use that
well,
as clickbait.
Nah, brother, you just
Oh,
nervous
well,
after y'all shit the bed with the last episode.
yeah, me and Jake. Yeah, sorry guys, it's been like a pretty hectic month because yeah, we obviously skipped an episode, and then me and Jake did that wonderful Gintama episode that you guys just love. Not a single person has finished the episode.
It's really
Really?
bad.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Oh, it's funny, dude. They all stop halfway through. There's a guy that skipped to the end. Thank you, whoever did that. Skipped all the way to the end. So, I mean, better than nothing. But, yeah, we were trying out a new thing, and also, like, just because of scheduling things, we couldn't
Christmas is
really
a
get all of
hectic
us together. Yeah, it was Christmas time. It was bound to happen. So me and Jake decided to just do a test run of the series anyways, because we're most likely going to do, like, one more episode of, like, a Road to Gintama thing, but it is going to be a side piece to a main episode. And then also one that comes out after the movie comes out. So maybe just like 2 more things. But it's like a side thing we wanted to do. Like
And I
for
think
like movies or shows that are coming out. Sorry, what?
And I think it's going to be better because we're going to have it not as an hour, but maybe at least like 20 or 30 minutes.
Yeah, we're going to
as
shorten
we
it
start
up
from
because
our
an hour
stats.
was way too much. Yeah. Hour was way
We
too much, I
might,
think, for that.
we might be able to open up the new year with a podcast about Studio Ghibli, though, because we about to watch all those movies together.
You
Oh,
are
that's
right.
right. You are coming back.
Yes,
Fuck, yes.
The boys
We'll have
are
a
going
lot
to
of
be back in
content, yeah.
town, so we're
Yes,
all going to
sir.
sit together, 6 feet apart, of course. Wink, wink. And we're going to be watching a lot of Ghibli movies. That's
Yeah,
what we were
it's gonna be
supposed
a
to be
fucking
doing
move.
for a long time.
Speaking of doing something for a long time, we haven't introed in the show yet. Sorry, this is the Anime Seiseis podcast. This is episode 15, technically. We had that Gintama one, but that's a side episode. So episode 15 this week, the last episode of the year, leading us into the new year. And it's going to be a pretty special episode, I think, for us today.
Not really.
Like, the one at least myself, at least, has been putting in, like, a lot of thought into, because, there's a lot to talk about. It's like a year-end review. I was thinking of doing, like, an award type thing, but I didn't feel like putting in that much effort for it right now if we can't really get it going that well. So it's going to be more like a breakdown of like the things we watched this year, whether it was seasonals or just shows that we happened to watch this year, like going back and watching the classics or shows we happened to miss from last year, stuff like that. And yeah, it's just going to be us talk about like the best, the worst, and maybe our plans moving forward with the show. So, I mean, hope you guys enjoy this episode.
We'll see how it goes, but I hope you got a lot of shit lined up.
Yeah. Oh no, I got some stuff lined up. Yeah.
I'm just going to be
interesting.
gushing over how I read Record of Ragnarok and how I'm loving the series. That's it.
I'm gonna be talking about fucking Hoseki no Kuni because my lord. Well, and speaking of that, because me and Jake have been reading stuff like that, we can go ahead and just start off with the manga you guys read this year, because this is a year I think all of us got pretty heavily into manga. Because before this year, I think I'd only read Corpse Party and Helpful Fox Senko-san, and not really anything else. But yeah, come this year, I can just start off, I guess. As far as manga goes, I started my manga collection, so it's been helping me like force myself to start reading different series. And on top of that, I've been reading other things through the Shonen Jump app and online. And while I'm still not like at a crazy high number, there are a lot of good series I've read. And from that, the ones that still get to me the most were Chainsaw Man. Obviously, I think we've all read it here. It's a fantastic series. And we can talk about that for a second, because I ended up reading that right before the whole Gun Devil reveal went down. And it was an awesome time to get into Chainsaw Man. I think that really heightened my love for the series, because it's like I got on the most hypest point, like with the craziest reveal of the whole entire like series, because that's what everything was building up to. and like that design, that it was an awesome time to be like a Chainsaw Man fan, because like everybody was freaking out over it on Twitter, on Reddit, everywhere you looked, YouTube, people were just going insane over it. It was like an awesome like experience to see.
Yeah, I'm really happy that you got into it, so therefore I could get into it, because holy shit. I would be so mad with myself if I wasn't caught up.
Yeah, I'm like super glad I got into it too. I'm trying to remember how I saw a puke panel and I was like, what the hell is this? The whole Himino puking into Denji's mouth thing. I saw that and I was like, that seems really fucking weird. And I was like, this whole series seems like it has weird things going on, so I ended up giving it a read. Really glad I did, because yeah, insanely good.
Oh yeah.
And I know you recently read it, Jake. What do you think about it? Because I don't think we like talked in depth about Chainsaw Man.
Oh, I'm freaking loving it. It's such a joy to read, because it's like one of those things like you just don't know what's gonna happen, and that's what I love about it, because it like kind of keeps you on your toes. Like you're kind of thinking of a lot of scenarios, and that reveal. I wish I got it.
No, that reveal was unrivaled. Yeah, I mean, I feel bad for you guys for getting in afterwards, because yeah, insane. It was fucking crazy. But yeah, moving on from Chainsaw Man, for me specifically at least, I read Gleipnir. I know you guys gave the anime a shot or whatever. The manga's good. Lots of tit shots everywhere. Nothing more past that. Volume covers are amazing though. Gleipnir is good. I think you guys should go out and read it if you're listening.
It actually was on my list. I had been meaning to watch
you should definitely read it.
Never did. Or read it.
Yeah, no, I mean, I suggest it. It's like a battle royale type thing done right, I think. Like, gives me Future Diary vibes, but like with all the worst parts of Future Diary taken out. So that's what I like about Gleipnir, I think. Yeah, I mean, most of the show.
Yeah.
But moving on to My Hero Academia, I don't technically this counts because all of us I think read from where season 4 left off, but that's still 90 fucking chapters. We're actually 104 now as of right now where the manga is left off, so that's 104 chapters worth. Also, we know all the content beforehand, so it's basically the same deal. But we all read My Hero, we all read My Villain Academia and the war arc that just concluded this week, and yeah, I will say I'm thoroughly impressed with My Hero's manga. Like, I think My Hero is a good show, but I did think it was pretty overrated because a lot of people like praise it as like one of the greatest shows ever. But with the upcoming content in the manga, if it's done right, then I think My Hero will rightfully earn its praise, because the current arcs coming up are going to be insane.
Oh yeah, there's gonna be a couple of reveals, especially in the latter chapters, that are gonna. A lot of people kind of speculated, but it's kind of like whatchamacallit. Oh my god, I'm just drawing a blank.
Amazing.
I know.
Yep, it's fantastic.
Confirming, all right, confirming a lot of the suspicions. The fights are amazing. Can we do spoilers, or are we gonna keep it down?
You can mention that there's gonna be a spoiler real quick, and then give like a few seconds. Either that, or we can just
There's gonna be a big freaking spoiler. All right. Give it a second. All right. Shigaraki gaining All for One, and him awakening. Mm-hmm. That was so badass. Not even no cap. It's such a good.
I would say it's easily my favorite moment of the series so far.
No, I think it was like I'm cold and just destroys everything, destroys the whole lab in the
when buildings. He killed Crust like that, dude, that was fucking crazy. Yeah.
Yep.
Or sorry, it was Exless that he killed right off the bat. But yeah, like there was a lot of great moments. Like I said, it made Shigaraki a fantastic villain. I think right with My Villain Academia, I was like, okay, I understand their motivations. Toga, Twice, Shigaraki, all phenomenal. Twice is my favorite character in the series, I think, or along with Endeavor. I think Endeavor maybe is past him now because of what's going on. But like all the side characters getting love, and that's what I like about like My Hero. It's not just about Deku, and I mean I like Deku, but he's easily the weakest out of the main cast, I think. And everybody else is like kind of like shining like crazy, and it shows that he's giving a lot of love to them, even if they aren't supposed to be like the strongest in the story, because Deku's a walking nuke basically at this point. And And yeah, I don't know. I just really like it. Like you guys said, the whole Shigaraki Awakening thing, it was awesome. I won't spoil this, but you know, the whole recent reveal, I think about 4 chapters ago, involving Endeavor, that was insane. Even though we all knew it was coming anyways, it was still really good. It's like he's delivering on a lot of the things that people want and doing it well. So I'm looking forward to more that's coming. I think this is the turning point in the manga, so we still got another 4 or 5 years to go. So My Hero's not ending anytime soon. I know a lot of people thought this was going to be the ending, but I think this is just the beginning of the new direction of My Hero, and I'm super excited to see where it goes.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to be ending anytime soon.
Yeah, it seems like even with this past arc, I feel like it's going to start maturing more, especially when you told me in the latest chapter, that hasn't come out on Shonen Jump, but in the latest chapter, the list that they give, doing that to a lot of the characters that everyone thought had plot armor.
Yeah, he's taking, like, albeit they're not crazy steps with what he did, but it's showing that he is willing to make sacrifices right now, and I'm excited to see what that entails later on. So yeah, thank you Horikoshi for writing My Hero. You earned my respect. The anime hopefully can live up to the manga hype. But moving on to the superior manga, Yudu Camp. Who could have seen this coming? I read all of that. I think I still have a volume to go, but I'd like taking my time with Yudu Camp. We all know how much I love Yudu Camp here. I don't think I got to go into too much detail. I just really like the series. It's got me through a lot of hard times this year. It's always just makes me like really happy when I read it. Just super comfy. I love everything about it. Like I really have no complaints with it. I think Tails read. Have you read all of it?
I have all but one volume sitting in my bookcase, but I left it up in South Dakota. So no, I am not caught up. I'm about like 3 volumes behind.
Oh well, you still get to see some.
But I mean,
it's great.
Yeah, I'm with what I have seen, I'm still like thoroughly impressed. Like you said, I mean, Yudu Camp, it's just so cozy. I can sit down on like a cold night, warm night, whatever else, and read that, and I feel whole, you know? It's just such a wholesome manga that it makes me feel like there's nothing wrong in life, and I'm not depressed. So that's nice.
Mm-hmm. I know Jay can't relate because he doesn't give this 11 out of 10 series a chance. I'm hoping you do, Jake. I hope but just come by next episode, you're a full Yudu Camp fan. I know you will be. It'll come eventually. Everybody can take bets and just decide if Jake will be the number 1 Yudu Camp fan in the world. Or sorry, number 2. He will not surpass me.
We should start a poll.
I don't know about that. We'll see. I gotta watch 6 episodes, but I'm gonna give myself a deadline. I'm gonna give it by Friday. I have to watch at least 6 episodes.
You'll end up watching all of it. It's great. It's great, I think.
Yeah, Obviously, I think you sit down and watch any of it, you'll watch all of it.
Well, the reason why is because I read. I'm gonna go on a little tangent, but I recently just caught up on Record of Ragnarok because I just saw I was getting an anime, decided to read it, loved it, told Kazu to read it, made him a deal. He reads 10 chapters. I watched 6 episodes. That is the deal as of right now.
And I'll hold up my end of the deal. Anything to get people in Yudu Camp. I've gotten so many people into Yudu Camp and they all love it. So it's great.
I did get you
but yeah, and you did get me into we got each other into good series, man. Look, I got you guys into Monogatari. We're getting Tell into Gintama. It's like, come on. We're all brokering deals here with each other.
Yeah.
I'm still working on getting Gintama down.
And we're
I'm
still
upset with how far behind I am.
And we're still going to get people to watch Arrow Manga Sensei.
Yes, and we can convert everybody to Arrow Manga Sensei. But for me, again, another series that only I can relate to because I'm the only one here that's seen /read it. Hoseki no Kuni. The funniest part about this, I think, during the Gintama episode that I know you guys didn't listen to. Don't worry about it, guys. None of you guys can relate. I had mentioned Gintoki is my favorite protagonist of all time. As of yesterday, I have caught up on Hoseki no Kuni. Foss is my favorite protagonist and character of all time, surpassing even Kaiki, Jake. I cannot stress how good this series is. I was like fully expecting it to maybe be top 10. I was hoping it'd be top 5, and it obliterated all my expectations. I've never seen writing this good. The art is phenomenal. The characters are just extremely tragic. I said this as a joke, but it's what like Evangelion wants to be, and obviously they're two different series. But I think Hoseki no Kuni really it manages to express that dread that Evangelion was doing. And it's like, with the way the series is going right now, there are parallels to it, and like my problems with Evangelion are like being like fixed with Hoseki no Kuni, basically. So it's like everything I wanted in a series is just happening with Hoseki no Kuni, and like it's just a really sad series, really fun at the same time. It's beautiful, like everything about it. I can't stress to you guys like enough, like everybody out there that's listening, and to you, Jake and Till, like how good the series is. Even if you dislike the opening, fine. You cannot deny how good this series is when you get around to watching and reading it.
I might watch it in 2022. We'll see.
Yeah, when I watch
Hey,
it.
look, there will still be no season 2 by then. And the manga might still be on hiatus by then too. So,
is it pulling like a Tower of God type thing where they're just going to go on hiatus and never come back?
No, I think in the most recent issue, Ishikawa, the mangaka, she just mentioned she got a PS5, and then it was also announced like 2 days before that translator note came out that she was going on hiatus. So I mean, obviously it's probably not because she got a PS5, but it is funny that she's going on hiatus the same time she got a PS5. So that's what people are speculating. But no, it's been running for 8 years. It's a monthly manga. And so, yeah, I mean, it's going to take a bit. It's not like the Tower of God scenario. I think this is like the second or third hiatus. But, yeah, it's a great series. Again, I don't got to go too much more into it. Next for me, like I said, if you guys have manga you want to, butt in with as well, you can go ahead. Or if you want to just wait till I'm done saying mine.
Well, I think we can wait.
Okay. Well, for me, I also am completely caught up on Rent a Girlfriend. And I know a lot of people dislike the anime out there and they hate the protagonist. I'm forgetting his name. Oh, Kazuya. There we go. Kazuya. I actually don't have a problem with him. And with the way the manga is going right now, it's actually kind of flipped on its head where I think that even Chizuru doesn't deserve Kazuya because he's going way out of his way and he's actually becoming a good main character. And the arcs are actually really solid for like a harem arc. There's like a good 40 chapter long arc that was really solid and actually really emotional. And while it's like not a perfect series or anything like that, and I mean, it's a harem, so there's a lot of tropes that go on that drag way too fucking long. But for the most part, I mean, I think it's a pretty quality series. I enjoy reading it. The art's really pretty. Like the character designs are also extremely good. Like I think that's one of his strongest suits. Think you guys can agree to that.
All I know from the manga as of right now is that there is a official image of Chizuha in the Chizuru in the springs. That's all I gotta say. You should know what I'm talking about.
I don't, but
I don't, but I do.
I'll pretend to do. Yeah.
Fucking crazy tits, dude.
And yeah, I mean, I remember you mentioning earlier when we were talking about like best seasonals, Till, that you the Rent a Girlfriend was up there. So I think you'd like the manga.
I probably would like the manga, and I don't know. I'm not sure if I've completely finished out ReZero, but I caught up and I got past another major point, and it wasn't at the time. I will say that if anybody's still mad about it, I don't think anybody was, but I don't regret saying it because it was a great meme, and I think I got a lot of people mad with it, so I don't regret saying it at all.
I mean, that's fair. Yeah. But yeah, I suggest Rent a Girlfriend all you guys out there. Even if you don't like harems, I think it's one of the better quality harems because I'm a harem fan. I like them. I don't mind the tropes sometimes. I mean, they can drag on, and again, this does have parts where it drags on too long, but all in all, it's an easy read. You can get it done in a day. It's 156 chapters, I know I said, but it's mostly just banter between them. You don't really got to pay attention to too much. You can just get through it fast. But moving on, I know this is one me and Tel can relate to. Please Don't Bully Me, Nagatoro.
Oh God,
it is.
Yes.
Yeah, it's it's a really good series. I read it like as a joke, kind of at first. I was like, oh, I'm gonna read this stupid series. I was like, and maybe just drop it like 10 chapters in just so I can see what it's all about. And I ended up binging it all in one sitting. There were 65 chapters out at the time. Got it all done in one sitting. It is really good. It actually manages to get like emotional moments going, I think, at some parts. Pai Sen, who's supposed to be a self-insert, actually really solid for a main character, I think. And just, it exceeded all my expectations, I think.
Oh, definitely. I mean, the first couple chapters that I read, I was kind of thinking to myself, like, okay, it's kind of funny. I mean, it's your typical rom-com, but this is kind of getting a little old. And then a certain arc came around, and it was just like, holy shit, this is it. This is amazing.
I know exactly what arc you're talking about, too.
Yeah, if anybody's read it, you know exactly which arc it is. And it just like turned around the series, and ever since then, it's been such a joy and so freaking awesome. I love that manga, and I have saved more Nagatoro pictures on my phone in the last like 3 months than I think I have any other waifu.
That's a shill if I've ever seen one, dude. That's a good ass shill for it. But yeah, Nagatoro, anime is going to be great. Jake, again, can't input on it. A lot of these Jake can't really input on because he's the, I don't know what you call it, the dark horse of the manga ones. I think me, Tell, and yeah, we read the same manga, I guess. And then Jake over here, reading Record Ragnarok and these other shitty ones. But moving on to one that Tell decided to start after me and complete before me, One Piece.
Oh, yes, sir.
I'm just gonna sit here.
I really like One Piece. Yeah, I have a hard time getting through long series. This is like known. And I really do like One Piece, and I do intend to finish it soon. I was planning on getting it done before Chapter 1000, but obviously that's not going to happen. Chapter 1000 is coming out in like 2 weeks. So I'll just catch up on it when I can, but I've really enjoyed it I read so far. I'm sure you've got way more to add on to it, too.
Oh my gosh, dude. One Piece was I don't know. Basically, I got into it with the whole goal. My whole goal was just to finish it before you, since you set a goal for yourself. And I knew I could because I was so damn bored with the work that I was doing, and I had a computer right in front of me. So I just went ahead and sailed the high seas and read about the high seas. And oh my goodness, it was... I mean, I would like to talk about it in depth, but I know you're not caught up. But it was such a joy to read. It was really unexpected, honestly. Like, you hear a lot about One Piece. Everybody praises it. Everybody thinks it's amazing. And I just figured it was like, oh, it's an old manga, an old anime that's been out for a long time. So it just gained a lot of followers, but it's probably not that good. If you're on the fence like I was, and you kind of think that way, you're thinking like, it's just probably an old anime and it just has so many episodes that everybody, like, you're kind of just forced to like it. No. Think again. Go read it. It's amazing. And this latest, arc that's happening right now, it might be over, actually. I'm behind like 3 or 4 chapters, but this arc that's happening right now is so good, and I'm so hyped to see what happens after this, because this is going to be a turning point for everything in the manga. And yeah, highly suggest. It's amazing.
Yeah, I'm excited to catch up when I do, and I hope it is soon. I'm been reading more manga on a more frequent basis right now, so I think it'll be soon. By soon, I mean within the next couple months, but that is decently soon. But moving on, Jake can actually give his input on this. Made in Abyss, we've all read it here. Me and Jake have seen the new movie, which covers the fantastic volumes 4 and 5.
Yeah.
And yeah, not enough can be said about Made in Abyss. Like, a lot of the things I was saying about Hoseki no Kuni also apply to this. Very tragic story, very just beautiful art, just amazing themes. It's also on like a very weird basis. It's been running for like 5-6 years, and there's only 56 chapters because he releases chapters whenever he feels like it, and there hasn't been a single bad one in my opinion. Like, it's really good, and adaptation from the anime has just been really solid in doing it justice, and It's a really solid series. I can't suggest it enough to people. It's my top 5 favorite series. You were saying
Jake doesn't want to put into it, but
Yeah, I think. My bad, I'm spacing out. So yeah, with Made in Abyss, like even with the anime, like you can probably catch up with it in maybe like 3 days. But I think with the anime, what like really elevates it above the manga for me as of right now is the soundtrack. The soundtrack is amazing. Can't stress that one enough. The soundtrack really like elevates a lot of the shots and the world building to another level.
Yeah.
But with the manga,
it has one of the most beautiful.
It's I have listened to that soundtrack. I have it on Spotify too. It's such a good soundtrack. And I think even after like rewatching it, like what you did with ReZero, which you probably will talk about later on, it
will.
It does, after another rewatch, it does give you a lot more information, and you get to see more of the world that you didn't really see beforehand.
Yeah, it's a great series. I know Tail hasn't seen the new movie covering volumes 4 and 5, but you still read those fantastic volumes, and it's one of my favorite arcs ever.
The cartridges.
Yes, I have read it, and actually, I am currently on a rewatch with a cousin of mine, and I'm getting him into it, and it is. I never noticed the soundtrack before, Jake, but rewatching it now with him, I really do. I know what you're talking about. It's so good. Like I never noticed before, but it's got a great soundtrack to it. It has such a deep and complex world, and I don't know, great manga. It seems it, and to compare it to like a manga that's coming out that we might talk about later, I don't know, but it has like a Promised Neverland vibe to me. And I'm sure anybody that's ever read or knows both of these series knows what I'm talking about, but just like really cutesy and nice and wholesome in the beginning. And then it's not. And it just gets better.
It just,
yeah.
The whole show matures before the cast.
Yep. And it's so good. I absolutely love it. I love the new chapters that have been coming out. I'm not all the way caught up on them, but I was at one point, and I crave more. I just always want to watch more, see more, and I really need to watch the movie, but life has been a fickle bitch lately, and I haven't had the chance. So,
but when you come on down here, we're down for another rewatch of that beautiful.
Yeah, I'll rewatch that again, dude. I'll rewatch that as many fucking times as need. But yeah, Made in Abyss, like I said, perfect series. Top 5 for me. I think it's top 10 for you guys. Great. I think it's a phenomenal series. Can't recommend it enough. And rounding out the manga for me though, I'll just make this one quick since nobody even knows it exists. It's Mono by Afro. It's his side series, got the same mangaka as Yudu Camp, so obviously I love it. Same art style, it's super cute. If you guys like Yudu Camp out there, I suggest reading it. It was also a really cool find, and I'm going through and reading all of his other works too, and I just like doing that with mangakas. I'm probably just going to start going back and reading a lot of my favorite ones, other works too, like with Fujimoto, I'm going to go read Fire Punch and stuff like that. But yeah, if you want a cute manga to read, 4-koma style, which is 4 panels straight, starting from the top to bottom, so it's more like a comic strip basically. If you just want something fast, easy, and fun, I suggest Mono. But that does it for the manga for me, at least manga of importance. I read more, but these are just the ones that stuck out to me this year. I don't know if you guys have any you want to add on.
Yeah, Record of Ragnarok is so freaking good. I'm not even gonna lie.
I knew that was coming.
You already knew. It's literally just a big tournament arc. Premise, mankind's about to get destroyed, so they're about to destroy it. They're having a little court meeting, and they just suggest there's an old rule that says mankind can fight gods, and they just have one-on-one tournaments, and they're epic. That's really it. That's all there is. Adam versus Zeus, nutty. Jack the Ripper versus Hercules, nutty. That's all I gotta say about that series.
I was reading the first chapter right before we started recording, actually. So you'll probably hear more about it from me as well come next week, depending on what the episode is. Any other ones you wanted to add, Jake, or is it Till's time to shine?
I don't think. I mean, I don't think I've really read anything recently. Just just like
Well,
My Hero, Chainsaw Man. Because I'm really like with a lot of the stuff that I'm reading, I read beforehand, so that wasn't really new. Yeah, I'm looking at my shelf and I just don't have anything. Actually, you know what? I am planning on finishing Will Took Away. So I got those two done. But I'm missing a couple of Vinland Sagas volumes that I still need to read. Yeah, that's pretty much it for me.
All right. Well, I have a couple that I can throw in here. One of them that I don't think either of you have read with me, but One Punch Man.
No, Javian did.
It was Javian, okay. Well, I got into it because like I said, I was bored as hell at the work that I was at. Had some time off to go do whatever. Decided, why not? I want to see what One Punch is like in manga form. And the new chapters that have come out, the basically what would be season 3 and possibly season 4, but that content is so good and amazing, and I would highly suggest anybody that is a My Hero fan to go and read the manga, because that was
You mean One Punch?
Yeah, One Punch. What did I say?
You said My Hero.
My Hero. Okay.
Apologies,
my
guys. Tell is a little drunk, and I am also drinking, so it might devolve into a shit show.
Oh, definitely. This is our New Year's episode, so why wouldn't you drink on New Year's unless you're underage, and that's totally not okay.
Yeah.
I'll just let that one go by. But anyway, if you're a One Punch fan, if you liked the anime on it, I'd highly suggest go and read the manga. It surpassed my expectations so much, and it's amazing. The new characters that are being introduced are so good, and a couple waifus in there that are coming out. It's you got the Gok. I mean, I think you know what I'm talking about with that one, Ethan.
Tatsumaki, baby. Dude, she's
Yes,
so
sir.
fucking hot.
That Gok 3000. But there's just so much that has happened, and it's so good, and highly suggest. I read that one, thoroughly enjoyed it. But another one. Do what?
Oh, no, go ahead, sir.
All right. Moving down the list. I guess I could technically. I don't know. Do we want to talk about Kaguya-sama in our manga?
I completely forgot to add that. I'm so sorry, guys. It's my my favorite manga ever. Tied with Hoseki no Kuni right now, maybe a little bit below it.
I was expecting you to hit it, but you never did. So I figured you might.
That was
be
the one
for
I was
anime.
forgetting. No. I completely forgot. I'm all caught up. Yeah.
Dude, the
Go ahead and talk about
Kaguya-sama. I mean, the manga of Kaguya-sama is so good. The recent chapters, the recent development that has happened. I mean, of course, it's completely changed the series, but it's so good, and I'm excited to see more. I just want more of it. I mean, it's so wholesome and nice, and like I said, makes me feel like I'm not depressed, and also it makes me more depressed at the same time because I'm not in his situation. But man, it's so good. I don't know. I'll let you talk about it for a little bit.
Yeah, it was my favorite manga for a long time, and I still have to think on Hoseki no Kuni. Obviously, I'm still on the riding the hype train from it yesterday. But with Kaguya, I read all. Last year there was 140 chapters out. I read all 140 chapters in a single sitting. It was that good. I caught up like in a single day. I've been reading it weekly ever since, and it's just really good. The side characters, again, same thing. It has one of like the strongest like core casts like ever. Ishigami, phenomenal character, one of my favorite characters ever. Like everybody in there is just really solid. They all have like just perfect development. They have perfect relationships with each other, and things aren't also going like the way like you should expect it to. Like you should know what I mean. Like with Miko and Ishigami tale, like basically, I like the way the author's treating it. Is that he's not writing it the way he wants things to end up. He's writing it the way the characters want things to end up, or the way their control. So like he's giving them like sentience basically. So it's not like he's just writing them having these things go on, because he even mentioned like with Ishigami, he would like them end up with this certain character that I won't spoil. But Ishigami has his own free will, so he's gonna decide what he wants. And I'm like, that's actually really cool that he's like thinking of it like that. And it shows like in the writing. It's a comedy series, and the comedy is always really solid. But then it hits those emotional beats really well. The art also great. I mean, does not to be said there. And and the anime has been really solid too. I cannot wait for season 3. And it's really good romance, really good comedy, really good drama, really good slice of life. It nails like all the beats. And Jake, I know you haven't read it. I really want you to read it. That is one of like the highest recommendations I can give, I think, is Kaguya-sama. I think most people can agree. I haven't met a single person that like that. I mean, they dislike the comedy in there, but they cannot like knock the writing, because the writing is just next to none. So, yeah, Kaguya-sama is great. I don't know if you have any other manga you wanted to add, Till.
I do have a couple, but if we want to move on, I mean, one for sure we don't have to talk about a whole lot. But Tower of God, I did read through that. It was okay. I already did a rant on this like way back when. I don't even remember when, and I kind of like talked about it after I finished it. But like I mentioned before earlier, he's on hiatus now. Kind of feel like he's not ever gonna come back because it's been a really long time. And honestly, I'm okay with it because it's just But besides that one, I can say My Hero Vigilante. That one is pretty good. I read it. I thought, Ethan, you might have read it with me. Ethan?
Yeah, I think it's that.
No, my bad.
To your little tangent.
My bad.
For Tower of God, the author. So he had another update to where like he was actually having something with his hand that like prevented him from writing. So that's why he took another 6-month hiatus.
Interesting.
Yeah,
okay.
I remember seeing that.
Yeah.
So that's a little.
Yeah, sorry. I was muted, but yes, Vigilantes. Glad you brought it up. I had forgot to bring it up on mine. But yeah, Vigilantes is really solid. I think at parts it even is better than My Hero. And Shuichi, I think, leagues ahead of Deku. No competition. But Vigilante is really good. Like, I don't know if you have anything you want to say about it. I just want people to read it. If you like My Hero, I think you should read Vigilantes.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't have anything to say. I don't really have a rant to go on with it besides, like, it's really good. Read it. Has a lot of the same characters of the original My Hero in that one that they've kind of, like, thrown in there. And you get backstory for those characters in My Hero, which actually, like, kind of adds to the original My Hero. I don't know if, Ethan, you kind of, like, have done a retrospect like that, but like some of the characters in Vigilante that they have that backstory, I would go back and think what they did in the original series and be like, oh, that makes a lot of sense now. Like this backstory that he has, it fits in really well with what he did.
Oh yeah, no, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yep.
Won't spoil who it is for you guys because I think the reveal is amazing in the manga when you find out who it is. But yeah, it does stuff like that. I think it just gives good perspectives on characters and the way they do things and why they do things. Aizawa especially. So
yes.
Definitely recommend it to you guys.
Besides that, the only other one I got is Grand Blue, because Grand Blue is amazing and Jake can talk about it a little bit if he wants to. But it's hilarious. It's great. It has a lot of good chapters besides the anime. The anime is fantastic, but I really wish they'd do more. But I don't think they will. So the manga is kind of like our only hope at this point. But really good. Would suggest
Grand
reading
Blue, you
it.
said?
Yeah,
Grand Blue Dreaming.
Okay, I didn't know you read the manga.
Yeah, I read the manga.
Yeah, my bad. You said I do remember that now.
Yeah. I mean, I won't go on like a rant on it unless Jake, you want to talk about a little bit too. But
I mean, I'm looking at the time. Ugh. We still gotta go to.
yeah, I mean,
it's
it's
gonna
our
be a
end of the year
longer
episode. We can go a little.
Yeah, it's
over.
the end of the year. Give them a little treat. They haven't backed out now.
Yeah,
I'm feeling
so-
the alcohol kick in,
Yeah,
so,
so
it
with
might turn
Granblue,
into a
yeah,
shit
it's
show
a-
later on.
Yeah, if it's gonna be longer, right? So with Granblue, I really love it. It's just like it's my third favorite comedy as of right now. You can talk about being number one because shit jokes are too funny to me. Yeah, it's just I mean the story that's going on now. It's really compelling what they're doing with it. That's really all I gotta say.
And Chisa's really fucking hot. Chisa's so
You are
hot.
Right about that.
Yes, sir. Well, did you have any other manga you wanted to add on to, or did you want to go ahead and move into like what we think the best manga of the year is?
I mean, I won't talk about it too long, but Cells at Work, Code Black, read that one. Fantastic. If you like Cells at Work, go read that one because I think it's almost better than the original. But I won't go into it a whole lot.
All right. Well, we can go ahead and just say what we think the best manga of the year is. This is like specific to what's released this year, so that might limit it down pretty hardcore for like all of us. So for me though, since I read Hoseki no Kuni and content that came out this year, specifically with chapter 94, and I don't think 80 was this year because that would have been but everything involving basically the span of 80 to 96 has just been so phenomenal that I'm just gonna have to give it to Hoseki no Kuni. I said, masterclass writing. That's the only way I can describe it. So my manga of the year is Hoseki no Kuni, even if there was only like 10 chapters this year, I think, because it is monthly. So highly suggest it to all of you guys. What about you guys?
That's kind of a hard one for me. I don't know. The hard part is that I don't know what exactly came out this year because a lot of them that I read have been out for a while. But
It can be continuously releasing, like One Piece, Kaguya fit into that.
yeah, I mean, I would
And
say
it's just
that,
based on the content of this year. I would say the content of this year. So I wouldn't say like Marineford from One Piece would make it the best manga of the year, but
yeah,
so.
this is actually pretty hard because I have a lot. Kaguya-sama, obviously, the arcs that came out this year were fantastic, so they're right up there. Also, Don't Bully Me Nagatoro is right up there as well because those are fantastic. But Chainsaw Man.
Glad
So
you're giving that praise.
I think I got to go with Chainsaw Man because like it's fucking Chainsaw Man. How can you say no to that? It's so good. So that's probably going to be my decision.
Yeah, it hurt me putting something above Chainsaw Man because I was like in love with that manga, and it's still one of my favorite mangas. Do not get me wrong. I just really, really like Hoseki no Kuni. So yep, that's Hoseki no Kuni for me. Chainsaw Man for Till. What about you, Jake?
I just feel like I haven't read a lot compared to you guys. And that's why I've been kind of quiet. But
Don't worry, you'll get to talk soon in the next segment.
yeah, this is where I'm gonna shine on the anime side. But I think My Hero, I've really been enjoying what they've been doing so far with the war arc. When I got caught up, that's what I've been looking forward to every week. So I've got to say My Hero.
All right, that's pretty solid. Yeah, I think these are all really solid choices. So Hoseki for me, Chainsaw Man for Till, and My Hero for Jake. You guys heard it here. Those are the three pinnacles of manga. Peak fiction, the greatest things to ever come out of the medium. Take it from us. We speak the objective truth here. So, three best manga of all time. I think we can all agree on that.
Yeah, if I read Eromanga
moving on,
Sensei, it would definitely be top
Oh
one.
yeah.
Sorry, gotta plug it in.
If we read that, yeah, it's just unfair. We're just giving these series a chance just by not reading Air manga. But we can actually go into what you guys probably clicked on this podcast for, though, which is anime. See, we're making you guys work through this episode for the anime talk. But yeah, obviously we're an anime podcast. We can actually start talking about our anime now that we've seen, and I wanted to separate it like basically like shows that you guys watched this year that weren't seasonal. So like no like Isaacin or Kaguya technically, because that is seasonal. More like shows that you went back and watched, like the classics or things you may have missed from previous seasons, like, or even like seasonals that you watched this year that didn't come out this year, stuff like that. So like for me, there was a lot, and I think this is a big year for me. And I have a huge attachment to a lot of these. I won't try to spend too much time on this like I did with the manga, so I will try to tone down the rants. But ReZero, show that made my top 10 for me. I watched it this year in March, and then I rewatched it again in July, right before season 2, and then I rewatched all of season 2. And yeah, I can't say enough about this series. It's one of my favorites. I think it's sitting at number 6 for me right now. Super, one of my favorite protagonists. It's I think you guys like it a lot. Hopefully. I'm
that's good.
pretty sure both you guys watched it before me though, right? Like way before me, like a year ago, 2 years ago probably.
No, I watched it
When it first came out.
18, yeah. No, I watched it with Javian pretty much, or Javian told me to watch it. So yeah, I was way before you guys.
Yeah, a little ashamed of myself for holding out for so long.
We were telling you to watch it too for the longest time. I remember this.
Yep, now I'm a huge Rem stan. I'm staring at my 6 Rem figures in my case right now, and that is not the end of the Rem figures. There are still more to come. So. But yeah, ReZero, show that made my top 10. Another show that made my top 10, Haikyuu. I know it also made Jake's top 10.
Yes.
Haikyuu. I do not like sports anime. I don't care about sports anime. It's boring. I just really can't. I can relate to them. We all did sports here. I just something that doesn't interest me to watch, I guess. Haikyuu, completely different story. It's like one of the best shonen. It has great themes. One of the most solid casts I've ever seen. And animation top notch until like I'll admit I was like defending to the top in one of the early episodes, but as of now it is kind of struggling a bit. And at least comparatively to the other seasons, it was a bit lackluster. I still really like the season, but it was probably the weakest to me. But all that being said, Haikyuu is still one of my favorite shows. So
yeah, I think with Haikyuu especially because like a lot of the themes that we actually relate to, which makes it that much better. And I don't know, it's just like volleyball is something we didn't play. And so saying it played,
yeah. Like none of us can
That's
relate to
definitely
volleyball at
a
all.
factor, though. That's actually a huge factor with it.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, I think like the fact that none of us can relate to, because I don't know, I'm not a guy that has to connect to something. Like when I play video games or watch shows that have self-insert protagonists, I don't look at that as myself. I look at that as their own character because I want something different from myself. So I think Haikyuu, captures that. I can't relate to volleyball at all, and I think that's cool that I get to learn about it.
And now we're pretty much volleyball masters. Just saying.
Hell yeah.
Play us in volleyball.
We know what kills, digs, spikes are. We know what minus tempos are, plus tempos. Dude, we're pros. Take on the Japanese volleyball team.
I say it affects me the most of being like great to watch because I don't know enough about the sport to be able to prove things wrong or say that things are wrong. Whereas if you watch something in basketball or track, for all three of us for sure, it's like, well, that's not true. That's impossible. I look for the faults and I don't know why I do it. It's just something that I automatically do. But with volleyball, I don't know shit about volleyball. So it's just like, oh yeah, he's going to be able to do like the superpower attack. Yeah, that's sweet. Everybody can do that, right? I mean, it makes it like suspension of disbelief is a lot easier for it. So therefore it makes sports anime a lot easier to watch.
Yeah, no, I get that. Like, yeah, you won't be able to recognize things that might bug you, I guess, in there and stuff like that. And it's a learning experience for all of us. I like Food Wars because I don't know shit about cooking, and I get to learn about cooking. So, yeah, I think that's definitely a huge factor in it.
But I mean, for you guys, I grew up kind of with volleyball. I didn't play it, but my sisters did. So like, I already like knew a lot of going on, but I couldn't really find a lot of faults, even with that show.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, the worst thing would be minus tempo.
Well, not faults, but maybe like you're thinking about like what's going on. Like in Kuruko, I know I'd be bothered in that because like, they're not technically playing proper basketball there. So you're just be like, what the fuck are they doing, man?
I'm gonna pass the ball to
like
the
you like that's
basket.
clearly a trouble that they're doing. Yeah, or like he's passing as a shot, stuff like that. I mean, like Haikyuu, it's like we wouldn't know what to call out or like what to find wrong. So, and it's like, and if there are things that the show calls attention to, we're like, oh, that's cool because we didn't know. It's a learning experience. But yeah, just so we don't keep talking about Haikyuu, I know we're just gonna keep it short. Haikyuu, fantastic. Again, top 10 show for me. Since this next two again are things that only I've seen, I'll make it quick. Yuta Camp, again, not much has to be said. Love Yuta Camp. I think Tell you love Yuta Camp. It's I talk about it all the fucking time.
Now. We're losing our identity as Eramonga Sensei stands.
Yeah, it's like I love Yuta Camp. I always have attachment to it. It's just really good. I want all you guys out there to watch it. Nothing bad to say about the show. I really can't find a flaw with it because there's really nothing to find a flaw with. It's just about nothing and having a good time. And it's really, really about it. And then next one, Hoseki no Kuni. This was the anime specifically. Also a top 10 for me. And also, sorry, Yuta Camp is also in my top 10. A lot of these, you guys are going to notice, top 10s for me. This year was really destroyed my favorites list. And I'm actually happy about that. But yeah, Hoseki no Kuni, the anime, only covered the first 31 chapters, so it was really good. And even though the newer manga content is way better than the anime is still really good. The soundtrack, the visuals, all perfect. Voice acting, just gorgeous. And it was basically a really, really solid adaptation. I don't think they cut out too much. They gave the fights justice. Everything about it was just really good, and I think you guys should definitely watch it. Studio Orange, same studio as Beastars. So you can have confidence in their CGI because you've seen what Beastars looks like. But and also, I do believe this was this year. This is the only one that I vaguely remember watching this year. Steins Gate and Steins Gate Zero. I don't know. With this, I like this show. I think it's top 20 still. I just don't have the same amount of attachment as everybody else to it. But it was a really solid show. I forgot if you've seen it, Till. I know Jake has.
What was it?
Steins Gate.
No, I have not.
Yeah, I was the one that told me to watch it.
Go ahead. Yeah, I mean, it was good. I mean, you told me to watch it. I didn't watch it because of you. I mean, I think I mentioned this before. I watched it because, you know, my Yuri and the OVA wrapped in a bow, like as a Christmas present. I started watching it because of that immediately. I've done that for a lot of shows just because I'm simping hardcore for the girls. And I did that for my Yuri. And, I mean, mind you, I had to sit through all 50 episodes of Steins Gate just to get to that because it's the final episode of the whole series at the final minute. But, I mean, it was worth it. Like I said, don't get me wrong. Steins Gate is bad. Not bad, sorry. It's good.
Your folks, it's bad. Everyone could destroy him on Twitter.
Yeah, I'm gonna piss everybody else off now. But
this
no,
is
it's
clickbait. This is all we need. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Like I said, I'm not a huge sci-fi guy. But I mean, the time travel concept is cool. It was definitely a unique show. But it is basically like Okabe, way better, like leagues ahead of the rest of the cast. Like, honestly, the Daru and maybe Kurisu were like the only other ones I actually slightly cared about. But Okabe, way better than anybody else in the show, and I think he really outshines everybody else. So that's really what I like most about it. I think if he was even a slightly different character, the show would not be nearly as good. But what were you saying?
Oh, no, yeah, with Steins Gate, yeah. It's been going down. I had it at number 3. And I think right now, I have it at 7. So, like, even like you, my top 10 has just been
tough.
It's been getting destroyed this year. Not gonna lie. I mean, Gintama and Monogatari are safe, definitely. But I had to rearrange my top 10 because it was bad.
Yeah, same here. My top 10 was getting butt fucked this year.
It was really good.
But I don't think Tel's seen Steins Gate, so doesn't really have anything you can add on to that. Moving on, though. Again, another show only I've seen, Neon Genesis Evangelion. This is a show I was expecting to break my top 5, and I think it's barely hanging on in my top 20. It's good. I don't want to like make it sound like I hate Evangelion, even though I do talk shit about it a lot on Twitter just to piss people off because it's funny. But I don't know. I don't really understand why it's considered like the greatest fictional piece sometimes. Like a lot of people do think it's like the most deep pieces of fiction ever, and there's like infinite rewatchability and that there's so many things you can pick apart. But I think when you really look at it, it's a jumbled mess of really interesting themes, but he doesn't quite understand how to express those themes in a proper storytelling way. So it's like really like motivational things, because he was depressed when he wrote Evangelion, and he ended the show in a motivational way. But from a storytelling aspect, it's like it made no sense, and he did that a lot throughout the show too. He would try to get a message across because he was depressed and he was writing his feelings into the show. It'd be very cool to see that, like see these cool themes, but then it would throw the show off the rails, make you even more confused, add unnecessary fluff to the show. And again, I think it was just contrived. I'm sorry to make it sound like that. I still think it's good. 8.5, and Evangelion is a 9. Still a very solid series. I love the soundtrack especially. Come Susur Todd has been stuck in my head all day, and I think that's a song, even if you haven't seen the movie or seen Evangelion, should go out and listen to. It's just a perfect representation of dread to me. And that's what Evangelion's about, is just dread. I know you guys planning on watching it sometime, though.
Maybe. I don't know. It's still up in the air. I don't know if I want to... Because if I'm going to be watching Neon Genesis, I'm going to be watching everything so I can get the full experience. So it's going to be a while.
The rebuilds are completely separate from the series, by the way, if that's what you're thinking.
I'm going to...
There's only 25 episodes and a movie.
Express my desire and watch everything and then give my final opinion.
All right.
But you've been talking a lot, so
That's
I'm
fine,
going to
I guess.
steal the spotlight or steal the mic for a bit. A show that me and you did both watch, A Place Further Than the Universe.
That's funny because I was next on my list.
Yeah, that show, it got the praise for a reason. I mean, it was very, very lighthearted, very much like a slice of life. That's really all it was, and just 4 girls traveling to Antarctica. And, I think until we started getting into their lives at like around like episode 11, then you find out the next episode 12, when, the laptop scene happens. Or we're just breaking down, everyone, me and you included. It really like showed like
Yeah.
it really showed that like those characters were really good for no reason. I'm gonna say that right now.
I mean, there's a reason they all are motivated to do what they want and prove the world wrong. There's definitely reasons.
There's reasons, yeah, but I mean like they were better than I expected. Cause like like what was it? I can't even remember.
Oh, yeah.
names. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, it definitely is. Yeah, I mean, I love Sotayori, but I'll admit I am forgetting their names right now. Maybe it's because I'm a little drunk, but
Yeah, you can
yeah.
see like
I mean, I get what you mean. It's a cute girls doing cute things show, so you're not expecting that kind of level of like character development and emotion from it, and you get that from these cute girls going fucking Antarctica and playing with penguins.
and it's just fun to watch.
So yeah, I get what you mean.
Yeah. I might have said that just a bit wrong though.
I think it's themes. Like I said, same thing with UDuCamp. It's motivated me like in a good way to go out and just explore the world more. Like UDuCamp's more about appreciating nature more, and Sotayori is just about doing things that you might think that you're not able to do, or like people tell you can't do. That's the whole theme with Sotayori.
Yeah.
Everybody's telling them that they're not going to be able to go to Antarctica, and then they prove them wrong. Go to Antarctica, do this expedition, and she gets to reconcile with her mom and stuff like that. It's like really emotional, I think, and really inspiring. But yeah, you haven't seen it, correct?
I have not. No.
You should definitely go see it.
I need to see it.
Did you want to butt in
I
with
know,
another anime chick? Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I really just need to see, like, I'm so behind on a lot of picking up, like, what our topic is now, like, anime that we watched that's not seasonal or hasn't come out, like, currently, but we watched it this year, or even the seasonals that has happened. Like, this year has been the most hectic year I have ever had, and I'm so behind on everything. So I'm going to jump in with the only one, I'm pretty sure, I've been thinking this whole time, what else have I watched that hasn't been seasonal? Pretty sure the only one that fits in this category is Gintama, and I know that y'all would love to talk about it, just like last week. But
Yeah. I think me and Jake did our fair share of talking about Gintama, so I don't want to rant about it too long. But Jake, I'll let you take the center stage. I know you love it. So
I mean, I didn't watch it right now. I just want to hear Tel's thoughts on it before.
yeah, I mean, I'm not even close to finishing it. I'm still on episode like 120 or something like that. I don't even know, but I still have a long ways to go, and I know that. But with what I have watched, I have already laughed my ass off. I think I might have laughed more at this anime than I have any other anime. Not manga, though. I have laughed more in manga. Shout out to Grand Blue and Kaguya-sama.
Just wait.
But in terms of anime, I think this is the one that I've laughed more at because of all the, well, stupid-ass jokes that are in it. And I enjoy it. It's amazing. There's serious scenes that happens in it. I mean, there's a serious art going on in the background, and you start to try to like get a feel for it the more you move along. And I'm really enjoying it, and I'm excited to finish it. But yet again, this year has been the craziest year of my whole life, and it will continue to be until probably end of January with the way things are going. So probably not going to finish it until then. I would like to, but we'll see. And then I can give a better, I don't know, summary of what I've watched and everything else. But so far with what I've watched, thoroughly enjoyed it. It's the only anime that I can throw into this topic that we're talking about right now. So I just throw it in there. And I know y'all talked about it a lot last week, so that might be all we do.
Yeah, I think that should be it for that.
that should be it. And I said, I mean, Jake brings up Gintama every week, and I know I shit on him for it, but I love Gintama as well. One of my favorite shows. So, yeah, Gintama is fantastic.
It is.
But I'll go ahead and just bring in my next one because I am pretty much at the end of my list. Perfect Blue. I did watch that this year. It is probably one of my favorite anime movies by Satoshi Kon. He's a very prominent film director. Jake, you would recognize his other film, Tokyo Godfathers.
Mm-hmm. We watched it together, brother.
Very fantastic filmmaker, yeah. Perfect Blue, I think its themes and what it's about, because it's just about a crazy stalker stalking his idol. And internet's involved. It's 1997, I think. And it's just very insane how, like, relevant it is in today's culture, because it's even more relevant today. And it's a psychological thriller, basically. It gets trippy, like really, really trippy. It gets under your skin. It gets disturbing at parts. The cinematography, I know it's an anime, but like the way they shoot the shots and everything in there, the transitions, all of that is just beautiful. It really shows why he is so respected in the medium. And I'm probably going to go ahead and give Satoshi Kon's other works a shot, like Paranoia Agent and stuff like that. But I know I'm late in saying this, and it's a very extremely popular movie and like one of the highest rated movies ever. But go watch Perfect Blue out there if you guys haven't. I know Jake and Tel haven't, but you listeners out there, definitely give Perfect Blue a watch. You probably have already. Maybe I'm the idiot for suggesting it, but
You know what? No. Not a lot of people have watched classic animes, including me. So I think that you saying that is a very good deal.
But it's like on the same level of Ghibli, in my opinion, with Satoshi Kon stuff, like Perfect Blue. If you're an anime fan, you most likely like deep into anime, I guess you'd say, like, past the shonen stuff. But if you're an anime fan, you probably seen Perfect Blue. I just avoided watching anime movies for a while for some reason. So
we have a podcast.
What were you saying?
And we still haven't seen the Ghibli movies.
Yeah. I was going to say, what you're going to notice. Yeah, I mean, we're running an anime podcast right now, and we haven't seen some of the fucking classics. So I'm sorry about that, guys.
We're still babies compared to the other people, but yeah. But I think...
hold on. I just want to end off this list real quick. I just want to go something from peak, and I'm just going to end it right at this. I saw Origami this year. Okay, what are you going to say, Jake?
No. I think you should go on a big. I think this is a big rant you need to do.
I want to hear more of this one. Go ahead.
Or a snafu. I think that's what you called it too. I think we have an emote in our Discord. Shout out to the Discord. Please join us.
Yeah, the full name, if you guys, in case you guys don't know what Oregairu is, it is My Teen Romantic Comedy Is Wrong As I Expected Snafu. I don't know what the fuck the snafu means. I don't know what the fuck any of the show means because it's horrible. And this isn't a show I went in like thinking I was gonna hate. I really thought I was gonna love this show, and like it isn't because like I heard like it was the greatest show ever or anything like that, so I didn't have any unfair expectations. I just thought I was gonna really like the show. I was like, it looked really good. The first episode, super solid, really solid, and then kind of went downhill from there. Again, I'm just gonna sound like a broken record here, but I think Yukino is boring as hell. Hachiman's contrived and bad character. They all basically say a bunch of nothing like I am right now. But they go on long rants and just go on long dialogues that they could have summarized in just a sentence, really. And you'll notice that a lot. I hope even like Oregairu fans know what I'm talking about. And it's just a lot. Yeah, there's way too much I can talk about with it that I can get into. And I don't mean to sound like I'm unfairly hating it. I have reasons I dislike Oregairu. It's just way too much to list here. I've even typed out before. Like I've gone into discussions with people about this, and Oregairu. It's I do suggest people to go out and watch it because it has a very diverse array of opinions, and I hope you, Jake, and Tel watch it. And it's fine if you guys like it. I don't want it to make it. I don't want to force you guys to dislike the show like as much as I do. Like I want people to go in with an open mind and watch the show because maybe you'll get a different experience out of it. But for me, boring, unpleasant. I didn't even finish season 2 because I was that fucking bored. It was excruciating to get through. And yeah, it's one of the very few shows I dropped, and I don't like Oregairu. It was a waste of my time this year. Yeah, rant over, guys. You can start talking.
All right, is that it? Okay.
Yeah, we really needed Tim go on that Oregairu rant because it's always funny just to hear him shit on it for no reason.
I agree.
Well, I mean, I have reasons. I just established them. So.
Sorry, but I wasn't listening. Anyways, well, like as I was saying, I didn't really watch a lot of new. Like I think the closest thing that I watched that was like not seasonal was Redline. Redline was the movie I watched, made by Madhouse. Was it Madhouse? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, Madhouse. Gorgeous to look at. Pretty great movie. Would highly recommend it. Animation was just jaw-dropping. So I would recommend you guys watch it. They've been telling me a long time to watch it. Finally watched it. Finally getting into the anime movies. Probably going to watch Wolf's Grave Children, I think that's what it's called.
You mean the Wolf Children? That's all it is.
Wolf Children, yeah. I have the manga like sitting right here. I can't even see it. I was gonna watch it. I said I was gonna watch it a while ago. Haven't gone to it. I've been real lazy because I've been trying to go on a manga tear. But I mean, seasonals. I've just been watching seasonals. Not gonna lie, this year. I mean, the only one would be.
Well, hold on. I wanted to. We'll transition into seasonals in a second. So if that's enough for the shows that you watched this year, I do just want to ask, what was the best thing you've seen this year out of all of those? Then, because for me, obviously, Yuta Camp. That resonated with me the most. Honestly, again, I'm not exaggerating when I say this. Changed my life a bit. It's really helped me have a different perspective on like different things. So yeah, it helped me through a lot. So yeah, I don't gotta keep talking about Yuta Camp. Everybody knows how much I love it. But what about you, Jake?
I guess A Place Further Than the Universe was probably the best that I've seen. That's not a seasonal. Was it right now? Great themes, great characters, fantastic ending. Not much else to say about that slice of life.
And I think Tel is getting another drink now, so he can get more hammered on.
I am doing good, actually, and I told you that the only thing that I watched this year that I'm pretty sure is Gintama, which I think we'd all agree is my top. So there's not a lot that I can really add to this conversation.
All right.
Well, that's completely fair.
So
Well, yeah, we can go ahead and jump into seasonals, Jake. So take it away.
All right. So with seasonals, I've been watching. I'm not gonna try and go in order because it's gonna be bad. Isaacin, it's a really great show. Not gonna lie, it just really talks about animation, how like the animation process that they go through. It's a really fun show, and more of like you're able to learn what they have to go through. And I mean, opening was a banger. You remember it. The character was a banger.
Yes,
Tall
sir.
girl, best girl for no, the manager of money.
Yep, Kanamori,
Oh,
baby.
that's what his name was. Yeah, but I mean, if any of you guys love art and like animation, I do suggest checking that out. I was at the start of this year, I believe. That's when Isaacin came out.
Yep. It was basically the first anime of the year.
Haikyuu season 4, I think, was split this year. It was split this year, right?
Split core, yes.
Yeah, at the beginning
Spring
of the year
and
and at the end of the
fall.
year. I'm gonna split this into two. Like season 1 was, I think, or season 4 part 1. I think it was actually really good. I really liked it. That animation was fine. I mean the art direction did change, and I didn't really mind it that much because I think, nothing really gonna be bad about it as of right now until I get to like the games, and then part 2's happen. I just think the whole Rona thing, I think, really hit them hard the most, and we could tell. A lot of rough sketches. I mean, I love the brothers. That game was really hype, but I think it could have been better, because I think even like when I was reading, like a lot of the there's a lot of hype moments that kind of got cut short. Like Hinata getting the block.
I was gonna
Getting that one block on the twice.
I was gonna add. I think Haikyuu is a show that extremely benefits from like you binging it, because I will say, I do think part of my lack of enjoyment of this season comes from the fact that I was watching it weekly, because everything else up until season 4 part 2, I was binging and I was watching like back to back, and that's because they're all like one game. So like when you're able to get all of the game done in one go, I think that adds more to it. And I think just me watching that game spread out through 12, actually even more than that, because it started in the first half of season 1. Going on for about 15 episodes, it did kind of drag a bit. And again, quality went down. I still love it. I think it's still like a 9.5. Probably the only season I'm not giving a 10 to.
But it's still easy 9.
Yeah.
Easy 8.
It's still an easy 9. And, yeah, Haikyuu, like I said, low points of Haikyuu are still 9s. That's a testament how good the series is. So, yeah, not really much else. I don't know if you have anything to add, Till. I forgot if you're caught up on it or not.
I am not completely caught up on Haikyuu. I am missing the season that just came out or already has came out. I forget. That's how far behind I am. But I don't even know, like, in general on seasonals if I've watched a whole lot of anything. I think the only one I've watched is ReZero that I've, like, completely caught up on and actually enjoyed.
And Rental Girlfriend.
Well, Rent a Girlfriend, Fire Force, and ReZero, I think, is the only 3 that I watched last season. And I haven't even started this season stuff that's coming out right now.
Well, you still got time.
And
They're coming in January.
Oh, yeah, I know. I still got time. But, like, speaking about the whole year, I mean, that's from May and on that I can confirm I haven't watched anything. And I do not remember anything before May. So about the only thing, yet again, I guess I'll just like throw this in beforehand. Since I haven't watched a whole lot of anything, I can just throw it in. I mean, Rent a Girlfriend and ReZero. And I know I mentioned this earlier in the podcast, but I would say that ReZero was the one that I enjoyed the most. It had, I mean, a lot of huge things that developed in ReZero. Really enjoyed it, really liked it. And Rent a Girlfriend was really good too, but just not up to it. So in order to, I don't know, hurry this up a little bit, because I don't have a whole lot to add anyway. And Ethan, you can probably pick up on ReZero after I'm done talking about it. But ReZero would be my top seasonal anime for this year, I would say, because I haven't watched a whole lot of anything anyway. And not to say that it was bad, but that's kind of the only thing I have to add here.
Yeah, I would have to agree. There is one other thing on here that I think is a little better. Jake already knows what it is. We'll get to that when we get to that, though. But as far as ReZero Season 2 goes, yes, it had that phenomenal episode 4, which is Subaru and his parents. And it's really just exemplary of what ReZero is all about, which is subverting what isekais are about, what power fantasies are about, what a protagonist is. And that episode alone, I think, is just what excelled it past a lot of other things of this year. We still had 2 other fantastic episodes, I think, that can rival it, from Kaguya-sama being episode 11. And hopefully you guys agree also. My Hero episode 88, the final episode that's came out this year.
I forgot about that.
I think those are the only other 2 with emotional resonance that we can go. And we can also probably say what our favorite episodes are this year at the end. But as far as that goes, I think those are all 3 episodes that like really get the emotional resonance down with you. And ReZero especially nailed that to a T. It makes you really truly understand why Subaru did everything he did. Recontextualize the show, recontextualize everything he's did, why he's the way he is, his attraction to Amelia, like everything is explained, and I think it's really good. And the rest of the season goes too. There was slight animation like cuts and like step downs, but that didn't bother me as much as it bothered other people. It just made slight facial changes to Subaru here and there. But yeah, again, phenomenal show. I think it was fantastic. I can't wait for the second core. And the episodes were longer too, so they're treating us. Yeah, really liked it. You got anything to add, Jake?
No, I mean, you pretty much covered it. I think ReZero was really good this season, especially with Part 2 coming out, which I think what I've been hearing is that ReZero Part 2 is going to be better than the first part, so we'll see about that. But Season 1 did...
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
Did put high standards. Well, let me say that for what the next season is going to be, but we'll see. But going down the list, we'll talk about the two webtoons. Tower of God. Just here, I think the problem with Tower of God and God of High School is that they tried to cram too much in too little time. I think that's what really suffered both of them. And I don't know about you, but Kazu really hates God of High School.
Mm-hmm.
For the right reasons, too.
I mean, we're going to say it at the end anyways. Yeah, we're going to say it at the end anyways, but I will just throw it out there. God of High School is my least favorite anime of the year. The worst show that's come out this year. That I've seen, mind you. I'm sure there is some that are worse, but from what I've seen this year, and I've seen a lot of good ones, God of High School, dog shit. But go on.
No, I mean, you pretty much covered. I mean, you what you've told me. No, never mind. I'm not gonna. I'll save that for you. I'll save it for a little comment. But I think Tower of God. I think Tower of God was like good. I think it was like great, amazing. Thought it was good. Looking forward to like the rest of the next season if there is one. Tower of God was God of High School was just a mess. It was literally just tournament. Then you meet.
Oh yeah, hold on. Just to clarify, I was speaking of God of High School. I don't know why you jumped to Tower of God, but I was talking about God of High School.
Oh, yeah, I'm talking.
He mentioned both of them.
Yeah, I mentioned both of them. Yeah, I mentioned them both, and I'm putting the webtoons together that we have both seen. Yeah, not tell.
Yeah.
No, I did watch Tower of God. Not God of High School, but Tower of God.
You're not missing out. You're just missing out on animation.
Yeah, I can say that Tower of God was not rushed whatsoever. That was exactly what the manga had.
Really?
So, yeah, no, that's exactly what the manga had. I mean, maybe like 3 or 4 words there, but it was nothing major that they missed out on or rushed over or anything else. And I think that's a testament to how, as I mentioned earlier, that anime is. And the manga. I mean, it's got some interesting things, as you said. Like, it's interesting enough, like, you'll keep watching it, but it just, like, seems off. It doesn't seem great. And that's how the whole vibe of the manga was when I was reading it. So, I guess that is one that I did watch as a seasonal, but just didn't pay enough attention to, I guess, or remember. But that's my input on it.
Yeah, we'll get away from that because I think Kazu wants to talk about how much he hates God of High School, but
Well, I don't even have that much to add. I've dropped it at episode 2, so not like I can talk about anything later on. I just think it was I love Mappa, and I've said it before. They're like one of my favorite studios, but I don't necessarily know if it was their fault or not. I know it was part of Crunchyroll's production community, but even as somebody who didn't read the source material, I could tell how rushed this was. The fights, while the animation was fine, I did not like how the fights looked at all. Felt like there was no impact in any of the fights at all. There was moving at a million miles an hour. They were trying to make a serious plot happen, but it just felt really fucking cheesy and really bad. And like, I don't know. I also really dislike the character designs. I think they do that a lot of manhwas, but they add that nose shine on all of them, and they all have massive fucking noses for some reason. As somebody who has a massive nose, so I'm not hating on them for having big noses. I just think it looks dumb in God High School. But yeah, a lot. Maybe it's just a lot of biases again. Like I'm not gonna say the animation was bad, like I've mentioned. It's just not for me. I guess it did not look fluid, or not. It looked fluid, just a little too fluid, I guess.
he has a.
It's too much to add on.
Say that.
Yeah.
That's what he's told me.
Again, and I also seen the final fight, and that was just like I don't know how you go from like stupid high school tournament to fighting God himself, throwing skyscrapers at each other. And also one of the biggest problems with me in there, they don't have an established like power system and stuff like that. And it's just like you don't know what the fuck like kind of powers people have. You don't know if they have powers to begin with. You don't know if they just know kung fu. You don't know like any of this stuff. And as far as I know, again, I did drop the show, but as far as from what I heard and what happens later on in the show, you don't really ever find out.
You are right.
It's just people pull shit out of their ass, and you're supposed to just accept it. So again, maybe I do have a hate boner, but I think a lot of my criticisms towards it are justified. And I'm not the only one who dislikes the show. A lot of people dislike the show.
Or people dislike the show. The storytelling was really atrocious, like you said. Like it kind of just skips over. You go from, a tournament to some antagonist that you barely know about to fighting God. It's pretty much the three act system with that show. And I mean, I think the animation pushes it up to a 5 out of 10 for a 2 out of 10 show. I think that would probably be generous. That was the type of show.
Still at a 2 out of 10 for me.
The type of show that I would just go on my phone and just look at the fights. That's really what the kind of show that it was at the end. But
yeah,
just needed to plug it in. Haven't watched it, but it came out this year. Interspecies reviewers just need to put it out. That's it.
So we can get that hentai thumbnail.
We really need some clickbait because, as you saw, our clickbait titles are working. So sorry.
Whoa, wait. Tell's seen it. Tell, you're just reading everything you've seen. I think you're a little too drunk. Tell, you have seen Interspecies Reviewers. Would you like to talk about that?
Yes, I have seen Interspecies Reviewers.
Oh.
Am I proud to talk about it? No. Did I watch it on a flat screen with 3 other people in the room? Hell fucking yes, I did. Did they all leave before the episode was over? Yes, as well. But honestly, enjoyed the hell out of that show. Yes, I am very drunk, if you can't tell. But I really enjoyed the show. It was, I don't know, it hit all the good points. It made me interested, kept me interested, and couldn't put it down, if you know what I mean.
I know exactly what you mean, dude. Yeah. It was a show I was maybe going to give a chance, but I don't know. It's maybe when I need to choke the chicken a bit, I'll watch Interspecies.
We'll watch it on
also, as a banging opening, I did hear the opening like a week ago, and it has a really good opening, honestly.
Oh, yeah, the opening is amazing.
Well, I'm going to the next one. I haven't seen it. Do plan on watching it. I put it in the same tier as Why the Hell Are You Here, Sensei? So we'll see. Next one, which I think you guys will be able to put input on, because I haven't read the manga. Kaguya-sama Love is War Season 2.
Yeah, I've mentioned it before. I think the anime is better than the manga right now, I think. And that's just because the voice acting is phenomenal. I would have to go back and reread those that manga, I guess, because mind you, the content from Season 2 I read over a year ago. But as far as I can remember, and at least with season 2, and especially episode 11, I will 100% say they did episode 11 better than they did in the manga. But like, I think again, the music, the voice acting, because they have really talented voice actors. I don't know how Kaguya's voice actor doesn't have more roles than she does, but it really adds a lot to the show. And also, since it's really fast-paced comedy, I like the really fast-paced talking they do. You know, similar to myself, because I talk extremely fucking fast. But again, I think it was a really solid adaptation. It's one of the few things A1 can do right, because, you know, they like fucking up a lot of things, like Persona 5, the animation. And I hope they keep putting all their effort towards Kaguya, because I want all of it to get adapted, because it's really deserving of it. Theoretically, it could end next season, and technically it could be a solid ending for the anime there, but I hope it continues.
Yeah.
What about you, Cho? I mean, you can input on it.
He's read the manga, so
I know he's moving on fucking dial up right now.
Yeah, it looks like he's done.
I need to go.
So.
Yeah.
Oh, he muted himself.
Okay.
Well, go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, I mean, as coming from a non-manga reader myself, all right. I really love Kaguya-sama. It's a really fun show. It's a comedy mixed in with it's a rom-com that's slowly starting to arc out to like a kind of like a shonen. Not really like a shonen. Would it be? I don't know. Yeah,
And it's in Shonen Jump, so yeah, 100%. Well, it's a sign-in, but I don't know why, but it's publicated through Shonen Jump,
It's like Gintama.
and I think it's Young
It's like
Jump,
Gintama.
but it is a sign-in, so it's very weird, yeah.
Okay, so but anyways, like yeah, especially like the Ishigami arc that happened in season 2. You know, that was a really, really goddamn good arc. I'm gonna tell you that. It's really showing the depression that he's been going through, and a lot of his backstory too. So I really love that. Kaguya and the president Miyuki. How much say Miyuki? Really, really good couple to ship. Because you're meant to ship them.
Yes, sir.
But I mean, they're so good together, it's ridiculous. All the banter between them and all their little battles between each other. Always fun to watch.
You have anything to add, Till?
Kaguya-sama is amazing. I was muted there, as you mentioned, and I was just coming back as you mentioned that. So I wasn't really paying attention to what you all said about it, but all I'll say is that season 2 was great. I enjoyed the hell out of it. But I'm just way too excited about season 3 to praise it too much, because I think season 3 will just blow it out of the fucking water.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, no. If they do season 3's justice, again, it'll most likely take over a lot of shows in my top 5. And, yeah, it's going to be really good. I don't think anybody, if you haven't read the manga, and I do say this to people, I know I said to you earlier, Jake, to read the manga, but with how good the anime is, I would think it's perfectly fine for you just to wait for the anime to get adapted, because that's how solid the show is. And I think, honestly, experiencing that for the first time through the anime would be amazing. And I'm a little jealous of some people. So, yeah, I mean, whatever method of indulging in Kaguya you decide, whether it be reading or watching, I think is perfectly fine. Because you can't go wrong with either. It's a really solid series.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Season 3 was announced. If any of you guys have not heard, mostly the listeners, I know you guys know. But we'll just, we'll go through some of the shows that are coming out right now. Jujutsu Kaisen is coming out.
Yep.
You guys read it. I haven't. It's more of the I haven't read it. You guys have read it. So you guys
Well, the anime's actually past where I've stopped reading, so we're basically on the same level. I think you actually know more about the show than I do now, because I stopped reading at the Mahito fight with Nanami. So, yeah.
Yeah, it was animation spectacular. The scenes are good because the way they portray. Oh my god, I can't even remember names now. Yuji? Should be Yuji.
Yeah, Yuji. I'm thinking of fucking Punchline.
Your favorite punchline or your
But,
favorite, or Mappa show.
Well, just to speed it up, we can start just going through these shows faster.
Yeah, I mean,
just so we don't go through a fucking
yeah,
shit ton of time.
Yeah, I mean,
but yeah, Jujutsu Kaisen, not much has to be said. Mappa's great, show's great, fights are great. Looking forward to more seasons of it.
It's going to be a 24. I think we should spend the most time on here. I think with me and you, AOT season 4.
I completely forgot to add that to my list.
That's been coming out.
It's I am behind on the show right now. I have not seen the last 2 episodes, but I do really like what I've seen, and that's because I was doing other things like reading Hoseki no Kuni.
You need to watch the.
But
all right, so next there's.
I'm excited.
There's a cliffhanger at the end of the episode. Shit's gonna go down. Episode 5 or episode 6.
Oh, I know. It's. I've seen the panel that's gonna be animated, and I'm really excited.
It's everything's about to go down in AOT season 4. A lot of people, I mean, nothing's like no fights are happening, but the character development for Reinhardt is spectacular right now, and I like how since you haven't seen it, but they do a certain interaction in the infirmary outside with 2 certain characters. Really like that part.
I know exactly what it is.
Oh, you know, so
believe me, I know, but everybody would not stop posting about it. So, yeah, I'm excited.
His grandpa and Jaeger. It was a really good, well done scene. And yeah, I just like how they're kind of like Marley right now is the protagonist. I'll say in quotation marks, because they are really just like focusing on trying to build them up as well until the group comes in, and then you get. They have to become the antagonist once again. Yeah, and I'm sad because there hasn't been any changes to the opening so far. So as of right now, it looks like it's gonna stay the same, which I'm kind of sad for.
I'm sure there'll be a rather than a gradual change, it'll be an immediate change, because technically none of the I know I said I haven't watched it, but I know none of Paradis has shown up yet. Outside of John popping up in episode 1. So none of like Levi's squads or any of them has shown up yet, technically. So I'm still holding out hope because they're not even a part of the show yet, basically.
There's one person that's been very prevalent in the show so far.
Whoa, Aaron, I know. Yeah. Yes, I'm just saying the rest of them aren't. So I'm still holding out hope. But for the sake of speeding up, we should get into the biggest one and probably both of our anime of the year, Made in Abyss, Dawn of the Deep Soul.
Yep.
Again, we were praising the manga arcs earlier. I don't think enough can be said about this movie.
Yeah.
Bondrewd, one of my favorite villains ever. Probably my favorite, like the top villain for me. That fight in there, the soundtrack, which surpasses the show soundtrack somehow. The animation, everything about it, it was just perfect. I think it is one of the most solid adaptations like ever.
Yeah.
Because like not a single thing was done wrong. And it's like, and the manga's so good too that it's like hard for me to say which is better. But because the soundtrack exists in the anime, I will say the movie was better.
Yeah, everything about the movie is just like it's kind of like you really can't find anything wrong. Well, I haven't seen it, so just judging from your words alone, like there's nothing wrong with the adaptation. There's nothing wrong with the movie. Everything just flows perfectly with each other. The soundtrack complements the animations and the world building. Soundtrack complements the battle between Bondrewd and Rig. There's just like everything goes right. Everything is going right with that movie. And if you haven't watched Made in Abyss, I suggest you guys go watch it, as we said before, along with Eramonga Sensei.
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's my favorite anime movie ever. It's probably one of my favorite arcs ever. Like, there's just not a single thing that you can like dislike about the movie. It doesn't drag. It moves at like a breakneck speed in a good way, because that's basically it's what the whole arc is about. It's just like everything going to shit at the snap of a fucking finger, and it's tragic. It's fun. It's just a spectacle, really. Again, shows you Bondrewd's mindset. It's amazing, and especially when they play the Rumble of Scientific Triumph when they're fighting is one of like the most like goosebumps moments I've ever experienced. So yeah, again, I think that's my pick for anime of the year. Same for you, probably, Jake, right?
Yeah, I would have to say that until AOT season 4 finishes, and we'll see what happens. Because I'm gonna count it as this year.
Well, that's not gonna count as this year. So yeah.
Yeah, well, I think
I will mention another show just later on, just so we have variety, because we're second made in Abyss's dick.
We'll talk about a show. Tony Kawa. I haven't finished the show, but I'm gonna finish it soon. I'm on the last episode, so I pretty much have the whole series. I really the show's fun to watch. It makes me realize how depressed I am and how single I am every time.
Yeah, it hurts to watch. I forgot you didn't watch it, right? Tell ya. I forgot you're gonna be a little quiet now because the seasonal talk. But
yeah, no, I haven't watched that one included with most seasonals.
That's
but
sad.
It's definitely on my list because I've seen pictures and character development shit that happening. Lots of spoilers have come out for me, but still gonna watch it anyway because it looks fantastic.
Well, yeah, I don't think much has to be added. Again, just for the sake of speeding up, I'm just gonna go ahead and list off some of the ones I want to give a shout out to. Inspector, again, I think I'm the only one here that's seen it out of us. Love the show, love Kotoko. Looking forward to season 2. Just got recently announced. Gleipnir, mentioned it already. The anime is really solid. I think it's better than the manga at this point. And fights are really good. I really do hope if Crunchyroll does like a fight category or whatever, that Gleipnir is nominated because it deserves it. Brand new animal. Really, it's a trigger show, and it feels like a trigger show, and not much more has to be said. It is probably the most safe thing you'll probably watch from them because they don't take much risks, but they also don't do much wrong. So it's just really, if you want to watch a show and enjoy yourself, watch Brand New Animal. Kakushi Goto, very wholesome show. It's also a show that that has this looming dread in the background. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about, Jake, as you're watching it. Mm-hmm. It's like it's a comedy and it's like a slice of life and stuff like that, but then they always start off every episode like leading up to this dread that's gonna happen at the end of the show, and of course you have to finish the show to find out what that is and how it follows through. Another one is Princess Connect Redive. It's from the same creator it's not the same creator. It's based off a Chinese mobile game called Princess Connect, obviously. But the director of the anime is the same guy that did Konosuba. So, of course, it has a Konosuba vibe to it. They turned it into basically Konosuba parallel. And I actually really like it. It's like not as raunchy or anything like that as Konosuba because that's in its own realm. But it plays around with the whole MC, like the self-insert MC thing, because he's just so brain dead and stupid because... I'm sure you know the trope, Jake, where you get amnesia in a video game and then you have to relearn all your powers.
Oh, yeah.
But they take the amnesia thing literally, so he forgets how to he forgets how to speak. He doesn't know how to eat. He doesn't know how to bathe himself and stuff like that. He's like literally brain dead, and it's hilarious to watch. Yeah, well, usually that trope is like the amnesia is just specific to the powers. No, I'm talking about he loses his IQ, and that's what's hilarious about it. And then of course, all the other characters you got your person that loves to eat a lot and is very loud. You got your cute elf, love her, and then the cat girl, which is basically the Megumin of the show. And it's a great show. Getting into season 2 also. A lot of these on here are also getting second seasons that I mentioned. So, and then moving on to just the movies real quick. Heroes Rising, My Hero Academia. What a fucking movie.
Yeah.
Like, it blew all my expectations out of the water.
Because, I think first movie was good. It was good. I mean, I really liked the end because I had a JoJo pose pretty much. So that's the only thing I kind of remember from it. But the second movie, it really blew out everything out the water.
Yeah. It's the animation was fucking the best it's ever been in My Hero. It was definitely fan service. It's like I'm not gonna look at the plot too seriously because they basically throw a lot of shit out the window. But you know what? It's a non-canon movie. Go for whatever the fuck you want, and they went for whatever the fuck they want, and it was a spectacle.
You like My Hero? Go watch the movies. If you do like My Hero, you've probably already seen the movies. But if you haven't, watch it again. Yeah, if we're gonna talk about movies.
Yeah, again, not much more has to be added on that.
If we're talking
Yeah.
about movies.
Well, next I'm sure you're gonna bring up.
Yep.
It's Ride Your Wave.
Oh no, I wasn't gonna fucking put that
Yep.
up.
Me and you saw this. I'd like to mention a lot of the anime movies me and Jake see together, including the romances ones. You know, we touch each other's thighs in the theaters while we watch
And we
them.
do grab each other's hands.
Ride Your Wave though.
Grab each other's hands when we have popcorn together. Just saying, share the same cup. We do have socks on.
Yeah, it gets a little
so
romantic
fine.
in there. Yeah, we saw Ride Your Wave. It's I'm forgetting his name, but same director as Devilman. So definitely the art style and all of that fits the same. And it was a very good movie. It's anime original, so it wasn't like the greatest movie I've ever seen, but it was very it was memorable. Has memorable scenes. The song, you know, the Kimi ga whatever how it goes. Yeah, it's an earworm.
Yeah.
It'll be stuck in your head for a while.
It's like
And yeah, it's
they sing it a lot. The girl sings it a lot.
yeah.
Yeah.
They sing it a lot in the movie.
Like another memorable scene when they're on the freaking tower and just the ocean just comes out of nowhere.
Yeah. Oh well, and I will say the visuals are really good because
they are really
you know, I mean, it's a movie, the budget's gonna be higher, but really good visuals and again, it's a super cute movie with hard hitting ending, I think. So give that a watch if you guys like romances, and at least circling or ending out the list for me for as far as seasonals I watched this year that had an impact on me. Weathering with You. Read the book the same day I went to go watch the movie, so it was a very fucking euphoric experience. I loved the book, and then I immediately got to go and just watch the movie, and it is one of those things where I did have to learn just how to stop thinking about the book or the source material while I'm watching it, because the first half an hour I was just basically oh, this didn't happen in the book, or this didn't happen, and this would happen differently. But then I just shut off my mind at the 30-minute mark. I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna enjoy the movie, and ended up loving both. Yeah, the book and the movie. Movie's visuals were fantastic. Again, really, really fantastic. Same, was it KyoAni that did this one too, or am I thinking of another studio?
I think.
Studio is irrelevant. The animation is just fucking great though. So I'm sure you can agree.
Yeah, I mean,
Jake.
I was with you when I watched it. So I was really good. I told you I liked him better than Your Name, but not better than A Silent Voice. I like the themes better.
Oh, I mean, I agree there. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was really, really great.
Yeah, it definitely does not touch A Silent Voice. So
Yeah, Silent Voice just cannot be touched right now for me. It's it hits too hard for me to even put it out. But I liked it. It was music was great, animation stellar, like you said. And if you liked, what was it Makoto Shinkai? I mean, definitely check it out.
Yep.
Yeah, but rounding
Yeah.
out your list.
Do you have any other things you wanted to add? Yeah.
Heaven's Feel 3 came out this year. Watch that. I mean, I don't get it. They put more budget into this part than the last part, and I mean, it showed. I really loved it. I mean, it does require a lot of thinking at the end, because there's a lot of stuff that it kind of they brush over, so I had to read what other people were saying just to get it. But I mean, Saber Alter versus Ryder, best fight of the year, hands down. Animation was just so freaking disgustingly great. I can't stress that enough. If you fan of Fate, watch it, please. It's ufotable. Nothing else to say about that. Fire Force, I did watch. I think a lot of people said season 2 was a step down, and I could see that to an extent in the first half, but I think after the second half they just blew everything out. Everything was great about it. It started becoming really good because they even had a little spoiler, a little teaser at the end with the Soul Eater moon, a little callback, which I think was kind of fun. You haven't finished it, have you?
Yeah. No.
Well,
I have
when
not.
you see it.
But well, speaking of finishing though, Jake, we do need to finish this episode soon. So we can go ahead and just jump into the wrap up. I think we've touched on the most important ones we've seen, so we can go ahead and just say what we thought best season of the year was and what the worst was for me. Movie wise, just because I do want to get variety in here. Made in Abyss, Dawn of the Deep Soul, obviously best of the year, fucking easily. And then as far as anime goes, ReZero season 2 because it's ReZero. I love ReZero. And worst anime of the year though for me, God High School, without a fucking doubt.
That's funny.
What about you though, Till? Since he hasn't talked in a while, so I just want to get him going.
Yeah, it's been a little bit, but it's okay. I have a drink to accompany right next to me, so I'm not that upset by it. I don't know. I hadn't watched, as I've said, this year has been the worst, and I really hope next year I can like be a lot more active in these conversations. But for this year, anime would be ReZero for seasonals. And as I said, for anime that I've watched this year that isn't seasonal, Gintama. In terms of movies that came out this year, I don't know if I've watched any, honestly. I've been meaning to watch the My Hero movies, and I read the book. I was on timing to read the book and finish the book of Weathering with You and watch it, just like Ethan mentioned. But the theaters that were nearby me didn't want to show it, so America sucks when it comes to anime. In that case, at least.
Unfortunate.
Yeah, so wasn't able to do that. But so movies, I really don't have an input on it unless you want to talk about something that came out years ago that I did watch, because I have mentioned before I did get the Studio Ghibli movie like collection, and I've been watching a bunch of those, but I don't think that counts, so I'll just omit it for now. So yeah, ReZero is all I have for seasonal. Non-seasonal, Gintama is all I have to add for that. And then manga, as I said before, Chainsaw Man. And that's kind of my...
What, do you have a worst show you've seen this year, I guess?
Worst show. Just in general, out of everything?
I mean, since you haven't been watching seasonals, I guess go ahead. Unless you saw God of High School, then that should be your answer.
Yeah. No, I didn't see God of High School. I don't know. I don't know if I have anything anime-wise, but I did try to watch or to read a manga, and I'm pretty sure it was called Infected. And it was supposed to be a horror manga, and it had zombies, and they were trapped inside their high school. And I got about 3 chapters in before I realized that this is the worst writing I've ever seen in my life, and finished that. And there was about 2 or 3 mangas as I was bored at work, as I've mentioned before, that I tried to hop into and see, like maybe, they have a lot of lot of chapters behind them, so maybe it's good. None of them were, but that one was definitely the worst, and it had nearly 80 chapters of it posted. And I don't understand how people followed it. And I think it's called Infected. I can look up later and see exactly what it's called if I'm wrong. But call me out on it if I'm not. But that's about all I got for that. So that's kind of my closing statement there.
Yeah, best movie, Made in Abyss. Everything's about that. It's not gonna be. It's gonna be in the top 4 movies, top 3 movies for a while. So yeah. Favorite show this year, I probably would have to say Fruit Basket Season 2. I really love that show. I didn't really talk about it a lot, but it was one of my favorite shows this year. Worst one, God of High School. I mean, trash. That's all I gotta say.
No, I'm glad you always agree there.
Agree on that.
Yeah, well. Yeah, if we had the time, I wasn't expecting this to take this long. I did want to, we're not going to do it now, but I did want to bring up openings and endings, favorite stuff like that. Maybe we can do that on a future episode for best openings of this last year and stuff like that. But been going for almost 2 hours. Don't want to waste all your guys' time. But yeah, again, that's been our retrospective on this year. I think, just looking back on all the things we watched and all the things we consumed, I think it made me remember a lot of the stuff I did, and getting to talk about it made me think about the shows I loved watching and the shows I didn't as much, and hearing you guys is what you guys have seen and what you haven't. Jake, I'm surprised you didn't bring up Sisters All You Need. You said that was going to be the only thing you watched.
I don't want to get demonetized, so.
But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for listening to this podcast. It's the end of the year, and we're planning on, going for a while. Like we're hoping that we can grow even further into the next year. We forgot to mention this at the beginning of the episode, but I remember 2 weeks ago, right? We were asking for 1,000 followers. We're actually at 1,500 now, and we're only going to keep going from there. We've been growing at a faster rate, and this is on Spotify alone, mind you. So like we're really like surpassing a lot of our expectations, because I don't think, at least to me, I wasn't expecting to hit 1,000 until like
another couple months.
May, if we were lucky.
No way.
Yeah, like May if we were lucky, and it's like, yeah, I was like, that was like very out of sight, and it's like, yeah, now we're just obliterating all of that. It's like we're doing a lot better, and we're happy to see you guys are listening. And again, we got big things planned for next year. We're gonna have more topics to do. We're gonna have more tier list bracket things you guys want. We'll take suggestions. Again, don't be afraid to email or DM us. We're always open to suggestions.
Everybody tweet at PewDiePie so he gets on our podcast here and we can talk with him.
Definitely.
Yeah, we'll get PewDiePie on here eventually. Yeah, and yeah, speaking of guests, yeah, we're gonna try to get a lot more guests coming on. Maybe hopefully even like outside of like Twitter guests. You know that's fine and all. It's always people to talk to, but I'd like to get like content creators on here, or other people from the anime community and stuff like that. It'd be a lot of fun to do it. But again, as usual, you guys can follow us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, all at Anime Safe Space. You can subscribe to us on YouTube at Anime Safe Space. I know I didn't post the Gintama video last week, but we'll just consider that a Spotify exclusive on there. So, but yeah, we post our video versions up on YouTube, so you guys can go ahead and give those a listen. Help follow us on YouTube over there too. We'd like to grow our listener base up there as well. But also follow us on Twitter. You always tweet at us. All of our names are in the bio, so you can give us a follow too. Don't be afraid to tweet at any of us. We don't bite. We promise.
Maybe
we're hardly on there anyway, except for Kazu. Kazu sucks, but me and
I'm on there a lot. I'm sure a lot of you guys know. Yeah, I mean, you're not missing much if you don't follow me on there, because I've tweeted who wants me about like 30 times in the last 4 days. It's really funny.
No one does.
But yeah, again, thank you guys so much for listening. This is a good way to end the year, I think. Just a super long episode of The Boys. Just talk about anime. That's what the show's about. Just talk about anime.
Oh, yeah.
Hope you guys listened all the way through. Also, again, looking at our listener stats, I'm sure you guys probably didn't, but if you did, thank you so much. You guys are special to us. Got anything else to add?
I want to give whoever listens this to the end a big ol' hug. So whoever does that, come over to New Mexico and I'll give you a big hug if you finish the episode.
Come tweet at us and we might give you a kiss. Depends.
Just saying.
But we might.
I was going to say a big, fat, sloppy, wet kiss, honestly, straight on the mouth.
With no chapstick.
Between the three of us, you have really good odds of one of us doing it. So you might as well just go ahead and tweet at us.